There's a lobby in America powerful enough to control presidents, shape wars, and decide the future of nations. In this video, I'll show you the proof. Let's begin.
We're going to take back our country, and we're going to make Israel great again, and we're going to make America great again. We're going to make them both great again, greater than ever.
A people who shaped the world with a handful of population. The Jews.
How is that they can make America do whatever they want and defy everyone? How does everything Israel says come true? Is it just money? Or is there another power behind it? When you learn the depth of the story, you will be as surprised as I am, because you will see a tremendous organization and a mortal unity. If you have hit the like button, let's get started. May 14th, 1948. Israel was founded on that day. Just a few minutes after the announcement of its establishment, the American government has already declared that it recognizes Israel. From that day until today, Israel has taken a major share of the American economy and has always had America's support in every situation, whether good or bad. To understand the background of this influence in America, we need to rewind the story a little further. In the 17th century, Jews who faced severe discrimination in Europe began migrating to America in hopes of living more freely. The West American geography, untapped resources, and great opportunities opened a door of fortune for the Jews. Here they successfully carried on banking, jewelry, money lending, and oil businesses, which enriched both themselves and their relatives who remained in Europe. They also had another advantage, because in America at that time, Hebrew, the language of the Jews, was considered a sacred and intellectual language among universities and the elite. It was believed that to understand the Bible, one had to know the Torah, and those who spoke Hebrew were considered privileged. In short, Jews were freer and luckier in America compared to Europe. With each passing day, new waves of immigration allowed them to preserve their presence and unity without being assimilated. Today, about 7.5 million Jews live in America. This number is only 2.5% of the US population, yet the state cannot go against their wishes. Because in America, a politician who does not support the Jews, and especially Israel, can hardly become a governor, senator, or even president. Because there is a mysterious lobbying group called IPEC.
Were I a Jew, I would be a Zionist. And my father pointed out to me, I did not need to be a Jew to be a Zionist. For I am. Israel is essential to the security of Jews worldwide.
Friends who share my strong commitment to make sure that the bond between the United States and Israel is unbreakable today, unbreakable tomorrow, unbreakable forever.
The most powerful of all lobbies in America. You must have heard that word, lobby. In America, lobbying is legal. They meet with politicians, negotiate, and push for their own demands to be supported. And they provide financial and moral support to the election campaigns of suitable candidates. Or they don't. This is their most obvious activity, and IPEC is the most important of all these lobbies. It is an organization formed by wealthy and powerful Jews. Friends, let's take Donald Trump as an example. He has to spend millions of dollars on his election campaign. And not just that. He also needs the support of media outlets, newspapers, TV channels, and NGOs behind him. This is where IPEC steps in. And it simply says, support Israel's policies, we will provide you with financial resources, media coverage, and public support through NGOs. And if he refuses this demand, then they don't stay neutral. They support his rival instead. If Trump does not accept IPEC's demand, he will not only lose enormous support, all those resources would also shift to the side of his rival candidate. And let's assume Trump didn't make a deal with IPEC, and if he somehow won the election, nothing will change. Because from the biggest to the smallest, Congress members, senators, even local mayors and governors, many politicians politicians are already elected with IPAC's support. The president's hands are tied. John Mearsheimer, professor at the University of Chicago, summarizes his power in his work, The Israel Lobby and US Foreign Policy. Its success lies in its ability to reward lawmakers who support its agenda and punish those who challenge it. IPAC is not an organization that can be ignored. So much so that Israel's former Prime Minister Ariel Sharon once said, "When people ask me how they can support Israel, I tell them, support IPAC." This power does not come only from its own financial resources. It also operates through various sub-organizations. For example, the American Israel Education Foundation is one of IPAC's sub-organizations. It organizes educational trips to Israel for American politicians. In fact, in 2019, the foundation took 72 American Congress members, 41 Democrats, and 31 Republicans to Israel for a week. Think about it this way. A foundation in your country takes 72 members of your parliament and brings them to another country for education. That is the kind of power we're talking about. IPAC also runs student programs at universities. It trains the future political leaders and politicians. Thus, the leading names of youth groups in America are often made up of pro-Israel youth. As the saying goes, Jews, wherever they are in the world, support each other. One of the biggest providers of this in today's world is IPAC and the organizations close to it. For example, imagine you are a Jewish businessman who wants to operate a tourist port in Italy, but they don't give you the contract. What happens then? Other Jewish-owned tourism agencies around the world stop organizing tours to that city, and the city tourism revenue collapses.
Hello guys again. I have to cut part 1 right here. The second part gets way more intense, but honestly I don't know if it's worth the potential trouble to release it. I'll let your likes, comments and subscriptions decide for me. If there's enough interest, I'll drop part 2 within a week. So please like, comment and subscribe to let me know you want it. See ya.